Marco,
Polio,
Netflix.
Nolio.
Hi guys. We watched FDR American Badass with an exclamation point.
And it was pretty interesting.
Definitely.
So, it started off really not so bad.
It was funny. We were laughing. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. And then they went to Georgia,
where they met the Republicans, but they called themselves the Repubes, and this weird swinger family, and everyone gave each other blowjobs. And hold on, let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Basically, this movie is a spoof of like what happened with Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and it was just like the whole from his before presidency to the end of his presidency and all that, and it would like expand a lot of years, like a lot because he was president for a really long time, but it went through it so quickly.
Yeah. It starts off before the presidency with FDR and a couple of his buddies basically out in the woods hunting, I think.
Yeah.
And they run into a werewolf, which is a totally common problem. And werewolves transmit polio.
Apparently.
So two of his friends get killed by the werewolf.
And he fights them fist to fist or
Fisticuffs.
mano a mano.
Mano a mano, yeah. And then FDR gets bit on both legs, so he gets polio in his legs. But it's okay, because as they remind you throughout the entire movie, his cock still works.
Cack. I kept saying cack.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was weird.
He wanted it on all the headlines.
Ugh. FDR's character, how do you describe his character? He's just such a guy.
He's such a guy.
That's pretty much it. All he cares about is his penis and getting laid and glory.
Yeah,
and making
glory.
Cock jokes and...
Pretty much.
I was very uncomfortable through the entire thing.
As you pointed out at the beginning, there's that moment where they try to make you like him.
Yeah, there's the Save the Cat scene for all you filmmakers out there, anybody that's read the book, it's a very popular thing, whatever, where little Timmy in the wheelchair comes in, and he's all like, FDR, you need to run for presidency, I also have a stutter, and I also have polio, and you can tell he's about to be a jerk, because he like does not care about this Tammy kid. But he stops for a moment, and then he's nice to him, and he's like, yeah, you know what? You bring me that wheelchair right there, I'm gonna let you do it, I'll let you have the honors. He's pretty nice, and it's like, oh, we kind of care about him, but like, that's like the only time throughout the whole movie I actually care about him. They don't continue any kind of trend or anything, it's just like, oh, he was nice at one time, therefore, yay.
Yeah, so he goes on the campaign trail after this werewolf
which is randomly in sepia for like half of it.
Yeah. Also,
Baltimore!
Yeah, Baltimore's in this, so...
And all they do is make Bon Jovi references the entire time and move on. But that was fun.
But it was good. They're living on a prayer. But not if FDR gets voted for president. But, anywho, backtracking a little bit to when FDR is still in the hospital, the doctor / medical examiner / apparently he just does everything at this hospital.
Only hospital guy.
Yeah.
Plus the nurse.
Has the werewolf that FDR shot in the face laid out on this table.
And guess what? He's German! It's all apparently a metaphor for the Nazi invasion and also Mussolini in Italy and also that guy in Japan.
Yeah.
And so pretty much every enemy you ever have is a werewolf.
Yeah, he has a swastika tattooed on his stomach.
And a lot of German literature, like
Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
Which wasn't written yet, I'm pretty sure. And then it also has the German to English dictionary, because the werewolf was speaking, obviously.
So,
yeah. So,
that's pretty much the theme throughout the whole movie. FDR does American-y things, which, yay, America, I guess. Is kind of a terrible president, but I guess he does good things. Yeah, he gets rid of the prohibition, which took him a while because of reasons, and he starts bordering against illegal immigrants because, immigrants, and yeah,
pretty much.
War.
Hitler and Mussolini and that Japanese guy,
which we don't know the name of. We're awful. We don't know the history at all. We learned a lot with this.
Yeah.
Some of it was real, some of it was obviously not so real.
The Hitler, Mussolini, and Japanese guy being werewolves was obviously real.
Definitely. We know our history. Duh. Come on.
So, yeah, there's a lot that happens with that throughout. There's the constant three-way conference calls between the three of them.
They're supposed to be telepathic, but they somehow need to use the phone. We don't really know. The entire movie's just like, I kind of got sick of it after the first half an hour, I'm not going to lie. I was playing Candy Crush for a little bit. It just was like, But there was this one nice scene, like we were talking about, where FDR decides to get stoned on George Washington's old weed, making it really good weed, and they're like flying through the sky.
And
Talking
Abraham
about all these
Lincoln's there
things.
because he's talking to Abe Lincoln.
He's talking to Abe Lincoln for some reason, not George Washington, just Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. While they're flying through the sky, they fly past the window of this apartment, and Abe Lincoln's like, "Oh, look at that black guy having sex with that white woman." And then the black guy's like, "Yeah, Lincoln." And then Lincoln says,
"Emancipate that ass." I forgot the line. I'm sorry. I was so
Ashley's
ready for it.
favorite line.
I was so ready for it, and then I forgot that was why he said it. I
Yeah.
just remembered he said it.
"Emancipate that ass."
It was a good line.
But then
there was this eagle, which, hold on, I need to see it. Right here, we're going to post a little image of the wonderful eagle flying through the sky. I'm going to find it. I'm going to post it right there.
It's super cartoony and awful, and there's like no reason for it to be there.
Also, there's this one, another lovely scene in Baltimore on the harbor where they have this like Japanese alcohol they bring in. I think it's like sake or whatever. I think that's what I don't know. And there are all these like gangsta werewolves like talking up.
No, they had the vino there, the Italian wine.
Oh, one of those things. I don't know. It was some enemy werewolf.
Because it was the Italian, like, mafia.
Yeah.
But werewolves.
And FDR comes in on his, like, little wheelchair all tricked out and has, like, all these, like, machine guns and stuff and kills them. But before that happens, after that happens, there are all these explosions, which will be fun. So, boom.
They'll go there.
We'll see.
So, I don't know if we caught this before, so I'm going to go back to it. The thing is really guy-centered.
The whole movie is very guy humor.
There's lots of topless women for no reason, which we've learned happens in a lot of really bad Netflix movies.
It's a common theme.
Woo!
It's just like, it's very racist, it's very sexist. It's kind of like, if you're like a white guy who's like 17, you'll probably love the shit out of this movie. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, you'll probably just be like me and be like, oh, that was funny for 5 minutes.
Yeah. After the part in Georgia with the swinger couple, it really goes downhill quickly.
And it doesn't really come back up much.
Yeah. There are some, like, small high points. We've determined that the best character is Lewis? Was that his name?
George Freeman? Or
no.
are you talking about the friend?
I'm talking about the friend.
Oh,
well,
we have...
Okay. I do love George Freeman, though. He's the, like, black guy that
who's
works
just like,
at the White House.
I'm just going to go stand in the corner and continue being black. Stuff lines like that. It's great. It's funny.
And he's, like... It's very racist, obviously, around him. But
at least he's making the joke, so it makes it funnier.
Yeah.
Lewis was the best friend of FDR, which we also agreed was probably the guy centered in realism most of the time. Except for that part where he's like, take my legs, cut off my legs and give him to him if he can't ever walk again.
And that was great.
That was pretty fun. But he's a nice guy. And he's always like, take care of your wife, she's important and stuff like that. So that's cool.
FDR's wife cries a lot. Get your shit together, Eleanor. That's said to her at some point.
They're pretty much always like, grown men are talking or whatever.
Yes, that's been said at least 3 times.
Which, I don't know if it's a reference to 5-second films, but I kept thinking about 5-second films. They have this little short where grown men are talking, and that's all they do is grown men are talking, and it's funny.
I could totally see it being related to that, because there's this one scene when FDR is talking to Eleanor while she's in bed, because she, like, doesn't want to sleep with him because of his shriveled up polio legs. And he's basically like, I want you to say it, look at me, Eleanor, and it's really reminiscent of this, like, skit that these people in my theater class, like, last semester read about, like, breast cancer. So if it's related to that, that's really cool, but I don't know what it is, so I can't, like, look it up for you guys. If you know what I'm talking about, though, comment and let us know, because if it's, like, talking about that, that's cool, and props to you, movie. You go.
Also, I was going to say something, I forget. You can probably cut this part out, Ashley. It's going to be it. Okay, yeah, got it. So this movie is kind of funny, and I know it's going for the humor route. That's obviously the thing it's focusing on. But what I think really makes it kind of, like, not super worthwhile is it doesn't have anything else going for it. It tries to do, like, emotional, like when FDR maybe dies and stuff, or his friend sacrifices his life for him. But it really just doesn't know how to hit you with any kind of emotions other than the comedy. And it's not even that good at comedy. So it's kind of like, not sure if I'm worth watching.
That being said, the sets and the costumes are predominantly good. Some of the outdoor scenes are very clearly sets.
Or, like, other stuff. But it's pretty decently props and everything, and the costumes. And the acting wasn't awful. A lot of, like, B-movie actors you'd probably recognize in it. And the editing and filming were all pretty decent too. It was just kind of like the writing, in my opinion, as well as just like all of it that way, just the way it comes together.
This movie is pretty recent. It mentions Obama.
It came out in 2012,
so
that's a thing.
That was when Abe Lincoln was talking to FDR about presidency and everything.
It was super, super, super American, and also for that we have Gabby's nice little top thing. So America,
hey.
Yeah,
Murica.
But on the O scale, probably, because I think there's not much else to say about this movie.
Yeah.
I would probably give it 3 O's. Like, it's pretty bad. I don't love watching it, but it was funny for parts, and actually the sets and everything were pretty decent, and like the lighting and the acting, and it wasn't awful. So 3 O's. It's like, I guess, a good bad movie night with your friends if you want to have something else to do while you're watching it.
Yeah, I'd agree. 3 O's. I'm sure some of you out there, if you wanted to watch it, you'll find it very funny. Not our cup of tea, but I mean, it's American. They don't like tea.
And that's it for Netflix Know this week. Please let us know what you thought of our review, what you want us to watch next. Comment below.
Yes.
And follow us on TowerlightVideo. You can tweet us there and let us know you want to watch too.
Yeah.
It'd be good. I think that's it for this week. So see you next week.
See ya.
One more time.
Netflix, no! Leo.
Give me an N.
Give me an O.
Netflix, no!